I run it.
Hello and welcome to the Dick Campbell Gym here on York Sports Network, where girls varsity volleyball is about to get underway between the Maine South Hawks and the Dukes of York. John, what can we expect to see?
I will say, Griffin, this is going to be a very tough match for both Maine South and York, coming out with very similar stats. Their lead kills does overshadow them. Same with blocks and aces, they're matched. But York comes out with more assists and more receptions. So I was able to talk to Mr. P, and he says you kind of get into this groove of you're nervous about the better players and the points aspect, but he trusts his girls, knows that they're going to get the win. It's just going to be a hard-fought battle.
First serve underway here from number 10. It's received by Lila Bennis. Smith. Big swing from Day. It's well received from 9. Roll shot here from number 9. Just barely too much power there from number 9. Kylie Andrews unable to keep it in bounds. Reese Timmerwilk goes to the bench. In comes Audrey Faley for the Dukes as Bennis is back to serve.
I heard earlier that number 12, Safa, she was very nationally ranked. Been a big threat for this team.
Bennis overserved there. A lot of jitters in this first set here, as it is the 36th team in the Maine South Falcons going against the 17th ranked team of the York Dukes in Illinois. Back to serve for the Hawks is Sophie Berta. Float here by Berta. Great job by Bennis to get that one. Swing here from Villatoro. Huge swing from Safa. Toliopoulos unable to get the mistime dig there from Bennis. Kill goes to number 12, Safia Oversevic.
I will say, Griffin, Bennis has come into this game super early, and this season super early has been able to help Dukes out with a lot of their wins.
Another serve there from Berta, and this time it's an ace going right at Carol. She can't receive that one all too well. Kill goes to Sophie Berta. Berta once again going right at Bennis. This time, great receive there. Toliopoulos to Day. Day, big swing. Berta's there. Going to Overett. Roll shot there. Goes off the block. Day tries to push it through the block. She does. It goes out there. Maine South unable to get the block. Kill.
Something that we always point attention to is Katie Day and Toliopoulos. If Toliopoulos can get it today, it's almost automatically a point. Might as well put it on the scoreboard already.
Maggie Lombardi back to serve for the Dukes. Goes right at Berta, and it was a great decision there as Berta's unable to get her hands on it.
Yeah,
Ace goes to Lombardi.
That's one of those plays where if you can get the ball right in between all of the players at the same time fast enough, it's just going to be a point. No player's faster than that ball.
Lombardi once again going at Berta. This time she gets there. Set goes to 13, roll shot. Great job there by Lombardi to get on the knees and get there. Toliopoulos this time swings. Too much power there. Maine South point.
Something these veteran York Dukes have always struggled with is the power of their hits. A lot of the time you see some of those unforced errors. It's just because of how hard some of these players are hitting. P has been able to work that down in a lot of the girls, but it's still something they struggle with.
Emily Curry back to serve for Maine South. Carroll, Lombardi, Day! Big swing. Looked like she almost got paint there, but just out. Yeah. Emily Curry will retain serve.
Yeah, Griffin, I'm going to have to argue with that one. I think she had that one in, but the refs have a better spot than me.
Emily Curry, interesting approach here as she goes for the standing float. First time the Dukes have seen that in a while this season. Over received there from the Dukes. Lombardi unable to dig it out underneath the net. Yeah, point Maine South.
Maine South's coming out with a 3-point lead now. Still early in this ball game, but I will say, just showing how that they're playing, the Dukes are going to definitely be in for some trouble.
Curry serves it over. Carroll. Lombardi digs this one out. Carroll back row attack. Almost gets there, but Curry's there. Hannigan. Big swing from 15, and she gets the kill. Katie Kruger.
I'm going to have to disagree with that one too, Griffin. I saw that one over the line, but I don't know if this is how the refs are going to be this game. It might be start to be flipping.
Curry still back to serve for Maine South. Once again going with that standing float. Carroll, Bennis, Toliopoulos from the outside position, goes with the sharp cross, almost gets it. Curry back on her feet, unable to get that one back to center. Point there goes to the Dukes, and the kill goes to Amalia Toliopoulos.
Almost a little bit of a collision, Griffin. 14 and 2 almost ran into each other trying to get that ball. Couldn't save it, though.
Emma Brathen in here for the Dukes as she floats it over. Hannafin, Bennis, Lombardi. Big swing from Toliopoulos. Hannigan is able to dig it out. Brathen, Carroll. Free ball there from Toliopoulos. Maine South read it as in, just missed it, and that played favorably in their corner as it was just barely out.
Maine South getting exceptionally excited for some of these points, Griffin. I mean, you bring the energy. You own the court.
Vasara Rada back to serve for Maine South. Rada, jump float, going right at Brathen. Great job digging it out. Toliopoulos tips it over. Well played there by Toliopoulos, catching the Maine South block off guard, going right up and over them.
Even with some of those easy, just fingertip over the net kind of shots that Toliopoulos has been able to master over here years, she still doesn't give up on some of those bigger hits when she is needed.
Allison Felberg coming in, floating this one over. Rada, swing here from 6. Felberg's there. Lombardi, Carroll, roll shots it over. Almost there, but Rada dug it out. Lombardi overpass there. Maine South has a chance to capitalize. They go to their ranked player. Big swing, big kill for number 12, Safia Ovrusevic.
Yeah, Griffin, definitely. That's been told from me that number 12 is their man. That's their player on the court that they can always rely on. That's their Toliopoulos for them.
Ovrusevic back to serve now. Now in the back row, that's a good sign for the Dukes. Float serves it over. Goes right at Carroll. Great receive there. Toliopoulos, big swing. Maine South has something else to say about that one.
Incredible block, Griffin. I mean, that was just, there was no stopping that. P's going to take a timeout. I think another thing that we got to point out is how liquid and loose that Maine South has been. They've been able to move around, not where players are, but more where the ball is. It's kind of like tennis. You know, that's how they're moving around on this court. It's definitely a different look for York.
Maine South, they're feeling good. They're feeling loose, as you said. It doesn't look like they're the lower-ranked opponent in this one. And with that, we will take a short step aside. You are watching girls volleyball on York Sports Network. We welcome you back here to the Dick Campbell Gym where the Dukes trail 10-5 against the Maine South Hawks. I'm Griffin Hanna. Joined alongside me is John Finucane. Maine South Hawks here with the serve. Safia Ovrusevic floats it over. Goes right at Brathen. Receives it well. Big swing from Timberwilk. She goes right at the libero, Emma Lesh, and gets it right past her hands.
I don't know if anybody else saw Mr. P, but Coach P, he looked at her and he was like, that's what I want to see. That is what I want to see. You want to see the lightning striking down on this court right now.
Toliopoulos now in the back row as she is serving. So set is technically dead, but we have seen her dump it in the back row before. Rada going at 15. Timberwilk with the block. Rada this time going for number 9. They tip it over. Carroll, Toliopoulos, back to Carroll. Carroll swings through the block. Bennis. Toliopoulos, this time to Viatora Navarez. Rada, back row attack for Ovrusevic. Toliopoulos gets her hands on it. Viatora Navarez this time finds the hole in the center of the court. No Maine South player has it, but it's in all of their zones. Kill there goes to Ariella Viatora Navarez.
Wow, Griffin, what a way to go out. I mean, York, they had control of that play the entire time, and I was just waiting for the moment when the kill was going to happen.
Toliopoulos again going at Kylie Andrews. Andrews again, big swing. This time the block says no. Rusevic, Andrews, Toliopoulos is there. Swung on. Overpass there, swung on by number 15, Katie Kruger, and she gets the kill.
I will say, coming out of this timeout, it's looking like this Dukes team is completely different. I don't know what kind of words were said from that pep talk from Coach P, but there's definitely a different vibe in this room.
Emma Lesh, this time back to serve. Bennis can't get her hands on it. Ace there goes to Emma Lesh. Once again, Lesh serves it over. Carroll, Toliopoulos, Carroll from the right side. Tries to tip it over, but the block there for Maine South was ready. Shoving it right back down. Extending this lead to 6 points, making it 13-7.
Yeah, I was about to say, Maine South has nothing to say about it, but they definitely did. They sent it right back over.
Lesh, this time going at Bennis. She receives it well. Toliopoulos out to Carroll. Carroll from the outside position. Unable to do much on the right side, but Carroll on the outside is a different story.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, she didn't want her night to be wrapped around that mistake for a little bit, but she showed them, hey, I'm still here to play ball.
Day comes in. Carroll goes to the back row as she is set to serve. Going right at Andrews. Andrews free balls it over right back at Carroll, and Carroll unable to receive that one.
Carroll's serve was only literally a fist size towards the ground, but unfortunately Maine South was able to get her hand under it and pop it right back up.
In the middle switch, in comes Tegan Hannigan, the captain of Maine South and also the setter. Floats it over, going at Carroll. Toliopoulos, Day, big swing, big kill. Sharp cross there from Day, but she was called in the net there. Maine South gets the point.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's just a very unfortunate turn of events. I thought it wasn't in net. I saw it, but every single person turned around and was like, yeah, but it was in net.
Tegan Hannigan to serve again. Toliopoulos this time going at Timmerwilk. Climbs over the net, practically a free ball here. And Rusevic. Day. Toliopoulos, big free ball. Maine South has a chance here. Hannigan. Free balls it over to Andrews, stuffed at the net. Free ball here. Timmerwilk. Toliopoulos dumps it. Amazing dive there from the libero. Toliopoulos going to Timmerwilk. Timmerwilk tips. Dukes finally get the point. After so many chances from both sides, Dukes prevail.
I mean, Griffin, everybody in this gym were on the sides of their seats. There was no idea who was going to get the point. York finally came out with it, though.
Bennis to serve here. Paints that corner.
Wow, that's just her heat zone. I mean, earlier in the season, she was serving almost all the time to that little corner, was getting a lot of her kills, a lot of aces in that area, but then was unfortunately just kind of lost her rhythm.
Bennis once again to serve. This time, not high enough. Goes into the net. Maine South point remains a 6-point lead. Sophie Berta comes in as Kylie Andrew goes to the bench of Maine South. Berta back to serve. Berta. Too much power there. Dukes read it well, and it goes out, ending up in the Dukes point. Villatoro Navarez goes to the bench. Maggie Lombardi comes in.
You know, as these points are going on, more points towards York, you can see Coach P kind of getting loose, kind of understanding his girls got it.
Lombardi going right at Berta. Overpass there from Berta. Hannigan unable to dig it out of the net. And it's back to Lombardi to serve.
Again, you're going to see P super loose, understanding that he can trust his girls now.
Lesh, Hannigan, big swing there. So Safia Ovurasevic looking to take one of the Dukes back row's head off. Unable to keep it in there.
And with the heat on that ball, I can see why she's ranked. She might have taken the Duke's head smooth off.
Maggie Lombardi, 3-point serving streak here. Goes right back at Lesh. Tegan Hannigan called in the net there. Maggie Lombardi now shrinking this lead to only 2 points. And Maine South decides to call timeout there. John, how has the momentum flipped here?
I mean, we've had almost like 3 of these very amazing, long, strung-out plays where you don't know who's going to get the point. Thankfully, York got those points in a lot of those crucial moments like that. And you can see, like I've been saying earlier, Coach P has been able to be a lot more loose than he usually is and has gotten out of his comfort zone a little bit, letting his girls just kind of take over the game instead of calling plays. Yes, he has to call where the set numbers are going to be, but other than that, he's understanding that his girls got this game in the bag. They're coming back. They still down a little bit, but I think that 7th man on the court, that net, is what's been affecting both sides of the ball, Maine South and York. P's going to take a little bit more extra time, talk to his girls about some of the mistakes that they were making early in the game he didn't want to risk a timeout talking about.
Like you said, Maine South came out of the timeout much quicker than the Dukes did. Maine South head coach maybe looking for more of a motivational speech than a strategical one.
Yeah, P's definitely a more stats guy, strats guy, and more of a hype man if you ever have him in class.
Maggie Lombardi still back to serve. This time just wide left of the court.
Yeah, see, this power of this York team is definitely something that I would consider, other than the 7th man, the net, the 8th man is the power. Definitely earlier last season and around this time, power was kind of the struggle a lot of the times.
No libero for the Redhawks. As Curry's back to serve, Bennis. Lombardi, Day from the right side. Another sharp cross kill there for Day. That's her 2nd of this first set.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is just so incredible to see the Dukes come back. I mean, they kind of started out a little sloppy, a little slow, a little overpowered, and they're kind of checking themselves back out.
Emma Brathen comes back in for the Dukes as she serves. Bennis, Lombardi, Carroll, big swing, bigger block from Maine South. Sent that almost faster than it came in onto their block.
Yeah, Griffin, I mean, like I wanted to say this before, but it looked like one of those super longed out plays were just developing. Unfortunately, York couldn't get their hands on the ball. We're trying to save it, but just unfortunate positionings.
Dug out there by Bennis. Push there from Addison Felberg, but unable to keep it in. Sorry, Audrey Faley, not Addison Felberg. Going a little bit under the net there. Rada still serving for Maine South. Great read there by Lila Bennis, able to stop the hands, bring them back in, and keep them from letting that ball. Addison Felberg now back to serve. Almost got paint there. Refs had to take a double look, but call goes to Maine South, and they will serve. Back to serve is the other captain, Safia Ovrusevic.
York only down by 4, but you know, you do have to win by 5 at 25 for a lot of volleyball games, so close game coming out in this first set.
Ovrusevic right at Brathen. She receives it well. Carroll, big swing from the outside. Overpass from Ovrusevic. Lombardi, back to Carroll. Carroll this time tips it over. Number 9 was there. Big swing from number 6 at that right side position. Martina Goncars gets the kill there for Maine South.
Yeah, that ball barely got a chomp out of that paint area, but, I mean, it was still in there.
Right side not known for swinging it, but they definitely can. Ovrusevic sails this one over again. Bennis is there. Lombardi this time goes right to Timmerwilk. Ovrusevic was ready. Free ball from Maine South. York has a chance to get the point here. Timmerwilk pushes it right back at Ovrusevic. She's there again. Rada, this time to number 9. Brathen's there. Lombardi. Toliopoulos just tips it over. Lesh. Rada. Back row attack from Ovrusevic. Brathen's there. Lombardi. Timmerwilk pushes. Just too much there. She saw the back corner was open and got a little bit too excited. Coach Pete calls a timeout, and with that, we will take a short step aside. You are watching Varsity Girls Volleyball here on York Sports Network. We welcome you back here to the Dick Campbell Gym where the Dukes trail by 6 points, 22-16 to the Maine South Hawks. Looking to come back after losing 2 sets to St. Viator in their last game. Brathen, Lombardi, Carroll, big swing. Maine South block was right there. Great hustle by Brathen, almost going into the scores table. But Maine South extends this lead to 7 and possibly extends this set losing streak for the Dukes.
Yeah, I mean, I think York has not been able to respond to how liquid Maine South has been.
Orusevic, Lombardi, Toliopoulos, big swing. She gets the kill there, going right at Orusevic, falling right in front of her. Out goes Lombardi, in comes Viatoro Navarez.
Definitely the strong six-man rosters out there, but 7-point lead is definitely something they got to fight for.
Toliopoulos going right at Lelsh. Rada, big swing from 6. Bennis gets it up. Carroll roll shots it over. Rada going at 9. Big swing from Kylie Andrews, but the York block says no. This time going to the right side. Almost gets it through. Slide ineffective. Carroll just barely outside.
Yeah, just that ball just barely got a piece of that paint. Literally just took a chomp out of it.
Amalia Toliopoulos back to serve for the Dukes, so set is dead. But she is known to tip one over from the back row from time to time. Miscommunication there by the Maine South back row. And the Dukes get handed, I don't want to say a freebie because it was well placed by Toliopoulos, but definitely caught Maine South off guard.
You know, Griffin, one thing I will say is about these Lady Dukes is nothing is ever given to them. Everything is earned. I think they take a little offense to that.
Toliopoulos tries to go to right, same spot, and she does it again. This time, Katie Kruger can't receive it. And, John, I think you were right. I don't think that was handed to her. I think she took that opportunity.
I think she did. I mean, look at it. 2 times in a row now, miscommunications. She might have the force. Little mind control tricks for our Star Wars fans out there.
Is 3rd time the charm for Amalia Toliopoulos. This time Lelsh digs it. Rada goes right to number 15, Katie Kruger. Viator Navarez. Roll shots there to big swing here from the outside. Kaylee Andrews. Toliopoulos now going to Carroll. Carroll tips it over the Maine South block. Rada. Big swing there from the right side. Toliopoulos digs it well. Toliopoulos dumps it over. Great spot there by Toliopoulos. Third point in a row by her choice. Not an ace, but it's her 3rd point.
You know what they call that now? A UAV.
Reading this defense well, it looks like she knows where the rotation's going to go. And this time, jitters get to her. 1 point holds Maine South from taking this first set. Dukes need 3 to tie it and push it to extras. Emma Lesh back to serve. Looking to close out the set. Goes right at Bennett. She receives it well. Toliopoulos to Viator Navarez. Big swing! Almost falls. Great hustle there from Kylie Andrews. Free ball there from Toliopoulos. Rada. Kylie Andrews, another big swing, and it sails out the back line. 2 points now separating the Dukes from keeping this set alive.
I don't think the people at home understand how hyped me and Griffin are. I see him at the corner of my eye doing some fist bumps, high-fiving himself. He wants to be down there right now.
Carroll serves it over, goes right at Andrews. Rada, this time going to the middle, crawls over the net. Toliopoulos gives it to Viator Navarez. She just tips it over. Rada, Lesh takes the out-of-system ball. Right side swings there. Gonkar is unable to get the kill. Day, roll shot. Day, kill! It's still up. Toliopoulos this time back to Day. This time Day gets the kill. Might have to get the replay machine up and going as that one looked to be down.
Yeah, Pete definitely looks mad. You know, he is definitely going to come up to us and be like, where is your guys' replay machine? Because that might have been a dead ball.
Carroll floats it over. Rada Goes to number 6. Blocked by Katie Day. Katie Day is willing this team back. We're guaranteed at least 2 more points in this first set. It's 24-24. You got to win by 2.
Looks like I don't know which team took a timeout.
Maine South.
Maine South is going to take a timeout. Griffin, I want to hand this one over to you. What do you think each team is going to talk about? And then I can say my opinion.
Maine South right now is definitely talking about just getting their heads back in the game. This has been a huge point slide for them. They were 1 point away from closing it out, and now they've given up 4 to tie it up at 24-24. And now it's going into extra points as you have to win by 2 in volleyball. You know what? I would not be surprised if the Maine South coach gets a little bit livid at his players, gets a little bit mad, trying to rile up the team.
As we can see, again, Mr. P not taking the timeout, but definitely holding his girls a little longer than Maine South, just trying to get their heads right. Earlier in the game, they had a lot of mental errors, some miscommunications, some overpowerness. I think he wants to see if he can talk that out of his girls now instead of later if they lose that second set.
Eileen Carroll, once again, serving for the Dukes here. Floats it over, goes right at Orusevic. 6, pushes it over. Carroll, Toliopoulos, Day, big swing right at Orusevic. Rada, back row attack from Orusevic. Bennis right there, but makes the platform crumble. That heat from Orusevic, just too much for Bennis to handle.
Yeah, definitely an awkward placed ball, something kind of a little hard to fight for, you know.
Hanna Ginn comes in. She's to serve for Maine South. Floats it over, going right at Bennis. A little bit of an overpass. Toliopoulos, great job pushing it out. Timberwolk almost with the kill. Free ball there. Toliopoulos just punches it over. Orusevic is there. Hanna again. Big swing there from number 9. Kylie Andrews puts this set to sleep, putting Maine South up 26-24. Giving Maine South the first set and giving them a 1-0 lead in this match, extending the Dukes' losing streak to 3 sets now. John, what do the Dukes have to improve on in this second set?
I really, sometimes I'm a very opinionated, anybody else who's watched this, but I think the Dukes are playing very well. They have another ranked opponent in front of them, a ranked player, which is very rare in Illinois volleyball. You don't really play a lot of that, especially up in the citier teams, closer to the suburbs. So now it just comes down to how can we get them to miscommunicate, get them to not be in zones and stuff, find those open gaps. That's where you get the points from, and then also those longer battles. If they can have more of those, I think York is definitely going to be able to pull ahead. They've been able to control those longer sets very well.
As you said, the Dukes are playing well, but it just so happens that the Hawks are playing a little bit better. And with that, we will take a short step aside. You are watching Girls Varsity Volleyball here on York Sports Network. Hello and welcome back to the Dick Campbell Gym, where second set action is about to get underway between the Maine South Hawks and the York Dukes. I'm Griffin. Hanna. Joined alongside me is John Finucane. John, what do we see in that first set, and what do the Dukes have to improve on if they want to make this a three-set game?
There's three topics here, three very big topics. Power, net, communication. Miscommunications on both sides of the ball have been reasons for a lot of points. More power. York has definitely had struggles with controlling their powered hits at times when it's needed, so that's definitely been able to get some more points for Maine South.
Eileen Carroll back to serve for the Dukes. She went on that serving streak to push the first set into extra points. This time, Sofia Orusevic unable to get it over the net. Dukes point here, and Eileen Carroll looking to go on another serving streak.
And it's like Maine South heard what I said. The net is what's also hurt both teams.
Orusevic receives that one. Lift there on the Dukes, and the kill goes to number 14, Emily Curry. Hannigan back to serve for the Dukes, or for the Hawks. Day, Toliopoulos. Day, big swing! Big kill, the tandem of Day and Toliopoulos working together.
It's feared through a lot of different conferences. You will see just like how feared they are. I mean, that's the Great Wall of China for blocking, but it's like Zeus with his lightning bolt maker, you know?
Number 4 and number 1, definitely two people on scouting reports. Bennis this time can't get it over the net with her serve. She struggled a little bit today from behind the back line.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can't say anybody's played perfect from serving. A lot of other York team and Maine South team have been in the net very frequently.
Sophie Berta back to serve for the Hawks. Floats this one over. Carroll, Felberg able to get it over. Day just free balls it over. Carroll unable to get the kill there from Alex Golimski. Point Maine South.
Yeah, Coach P is just trying to give his girls individual coaching stat things from the sideline, not trying to waste a timeout for little tiny things like this.
Berta back to serve again. Carroll, Toliopoulos, Faley gets through the Maine South block and gets the kill there.
Looks like Faley kind of put some like oomph through the block, like she was still in the air and just kind of hammered it in.
Really pushed it through that block, making sure it wouldn't come back right at her. Lombardi out to serve as Viatora Navarez goes back to the bench. Serve here by Lombardi. Hannafin. Big swing by Orusevic, but it's into the net. That seventh woman on the courts, stopping Orusevic from getting yet another kill.
Yeah, again, I mean, this net has just been hurting both sides.
Emily Curry back to serve for the Hawks. Going with that standing float. Lombardi, Toliopoulos out from the outside, pushes it to the back line. Maine South was there, though. This time, Alex Galaminski is able to get the kill there, pushing it right over the Dukes block and right along the seam of Eileen Carroll.
Yeah, definitely some difficult positions York has had to move to compete with Maine South, and they're just not being able to develop that quickly for those.
Curry, once again, standing float, serves it over. Lombardi, this time to Faley, and Faley goes right at Berta.
Faley sends it to Berta with no return address.
Faley, second kill already in this second set, trying to get the Dukes off this losing streak. Brathen back to serve now for the Dukes. Floats it over and just plays with that back line, just barely getting paint and getting the points to the Dukes.
Yeah, you don't realize until you're actually out on a volleyball court how small that area is for play. I mean, yes, you could go over the line, but just the point area is tiny.
Brathen this time serves into the net. 1 point lead for Maine South. Subs coming in here for Maine South. Vasara Ruda comes in, and she will serve. Rada. Float serves it over. Carroll digs it out. Lombardi back to Carroll. Carroll tips it over. Rada's there. Welch takes the out-of-system ball. Big swing from Orusevic. Bennis uses the hand there. Carroll, roll shot right at Orusevic. Rada back to Orusevic. She tips it over. Lombardi gets on the floor, but is unable to keep it up there. Maine South now taking a 2-point lead. It's 7-5 in this second set. No timeouts called yet.
Still have time and still have places to develop, too.
Rada. This time going right back at Carroll. Lombardi goes to Faley. Faley has had the hot hand this set, but a little too hot there on the swing as it goes over the back of the back line.
Just looking across the way, Maine South coach is definitely angry about something. I don't know. His girls are playing very well, and I mean, they're kind of living up to the expectation that we thought they would coming into this game. I don't know what he's angry about.
Point there for the Dukes. Ellie Kehoe comes in for the Dukes. She will serve. First time we've seen her all night. Lesh. Rada. Swing there from Orusevic from the from the right side spot, and just too sharp with the cross there. It goes out. Ellie Kehoe gonna serve again. It's to venture off screen there to go get the ball.
A little corner is definitely just where all the balls go to lie.
Kehoe gets it there. Rada goes right to 15, but the York block says no. Toliopoulos again! Toliopoulos and Timmerwilk saying no to back-to-back swings. Getting the point on the second one. Kehoe ties this game up.
They put a deadbolt lock on that block, I will say.
Orusevic gets it to Goncars. Free ball there from the Dukes. Goncars. Rada goes to Orusevic. Called two hands there on the setter. And the Dukes lucky to get that call and certainly happy with it as that ball came flying down to the ground.
Yeah, right in between the gap. I mean, that's like the pulling guard.
Actually, the double was called on the Dukes, so Orusevic will go back to serve for Maine South. Brathen, great serve receive there. Carroll right at Orusevic, and it paid off well. She saw a little gap in zone one, and she hit it there.
Yeah, number 12 was able to get her hand on there, but unfortunately not a very good angled hand. It's going to be a tied game.
Lombardi to the bench. Viatoro Navarez comes in. Toliopoulos just pops it to zone two. Big swing there from Goncars, but the Dukes block slowed that one down. Carroll tries to go around the Maine South block, but ends up going out of bounds with it. Maine South point here. They lead 10-9 in this second set.
Yeah, once again, Maine South leads. Nothing unusual for York this game.
Lesh. Dukes called out of rotation there. Seems like Toliopoulos was called for leaving her spot early as she adjusts and now is all the way to the back line. Not even toying with the idea of rotating early. And called again.
Toliopoulos is very confused. He's just going to pull her out, not trying to risk maybe a little bit of, I don't know, maybe a little bit of beef.
Smart move there by Coach P. Toliopoulos played almost the entirety of the first set and given her a rest here emotionally and physically. Bennis, Smith, Carroll unable to do much there with the set from Smith. And Coach P calls a timeout as Maine South leads by 4, 13-9 in the second set after taking the first. You are watching girls varsity volleyball here on York Sports Network. Welcome back here to the Dick Campbell Gym where the Maine South Hawks lead 13-9 in the second set. Free ball there from Carroll, and it works beautifully, just dropping it right in front of everybody on that Maine South front line.
There was a message to be had, but she said it perfectly.
Carroll back to serve. Day comes in for the Dukes, and Carroll floats this one over, going right at number 9. Rada trying to get it to Martina Goncars, and the Duke block says no, but unable to turn the hands in and get that ball to stay in. Maine South point here. They lead 14-10 and retain this 4-point lead they've had what seems to feel like the entirety of the set. Tegan Hannigan back to serve. Goes at Carroll. Smith. Viator Navarez. Big swing, but Hannigan was there. Lesh. Out of system ball goes to Kylie Andrews. Bennis this time digs it. Day. Big swing. Gets it through the block, but Andrews was there. Back row attack from Orusevic. Eileen Carroll there. And Maine South called in the net. Got a little overzealous with the overpass. Got a little excited and ended up in the net on that swing.
Yeah, you can see P visibly excited for that call. I mean, he was waiting for just one ref to like him.
Lila Bennis now back to serve for the Dukes. Lesh, Hannigan. Big swing there from Emily Curry, but Faley, Navarez, and Day combined to say no, no, no.
Everybody in this gym is excited, even our own three-sport athlete, Hunter Stepnick, in the back.
Lila Bennis goes right at number 9. Big swing there from Alex Gleminski. Viator Navarez gets it through the Maine South block. It's a 1-point game as she gets the kill there.
10 of Maine South came down super slow on that. Just was not able to get there quick enough.
Lila Bennis gets it to Lesh. Hannigan looking for a back row attack there from Safia Orusevic, and you see why she is ranked there.
Yeah, definitely a difficult place ball right at almost her ankle area. Not able to get down there quick enough.
Sophie Berta coming in here for the Maine South Hawks. Back to serve.
I like that Birdie, little nice nickname.
Just too much power there. Berta unable to keep it in bounds. In comes Maggie Lombardi and Taylor Stepanek. If you recognize the last name Stepanek, she is the younger sister of three-sport athlete Hunter Stepanek, who is also on varsity volleyball, but for the boys program. Hannigan going to Orusevic, and this time Lombardi is a victim of Orusevic's kill.
Orusevic has definitely got to have like quick draw or something here, Griffin.
She gets into her form really quick. She gets up there fast, and the ball comes down even faster.
Maybe even stacking up quick draw and double time.
She does seem to be moving twice as fast as this Duke's back line. Great spot there from number 8, Chloe Cooter. Gets the ace there, just drops it right in front of Day and Lombardi. Miscommunication, as you pointed out, John, leads to the Maine South point. Cooter goes back over. Lombardi, big swing there from Faley. Sorry, number 14, who we do not appear to have rostered. Sorry, that was Faley. Eyes playing tricks on me.
The eyes never lie, Chico.
Big swing there from Katie Day. Goes right through the Maine South block and shrinks this to a 3-point lead. In comes Emma Brathen for the Dukes.
At first I thought the ball hit the top of the net because it bounced so high up. I didn't realize how much power she had against that one.
Brathen quick serves him there. Berta was ready though. Free ball from Lesh. Brathen. Lombardi. Big swing from Eileen Carroll in that middle spot. That's the first time we've seen her attack from there. And she shows off why Coach P decided to put her in that position.
Oh, yeah. I mean, all I got to say is Coach P knows every single one of his girls on a personal and athletic level. He knows what they can take and what they can't take.
Brathen once again conserving this. Hannigan goes to Orusevic. Great hustle there by Brathen. Ball still alive. Stepanek roll shots it over. Hannigan keeps it alive for Maine South. Big swing from 13. Bennis, this time's on the ground. Carroll from the outside now gets the kill. 1 point lead for Maine South, but the Dukes are threatening to take over this second set.
The Dukes make this 1 point lead look like an absolute game battle. I'm just waiting for Dukes to take that lead and get this win.
Brathen goes right at Orusevic. Hannigan, free ball there from Lesh. Brathen. Eileen Carroll tips it over there. Hannigan. Big swing from 13, and it fights through the York Dukes block, just dropping right at the edge in front of the net. Alex Golimski gets the kill there.
Yeah, an awkward bounce off that block just unfortunately put the ball in a very weird spin angle, so no York players are going to think it's coming their way.
Vara. Lombardi pushed over by Faley in the Maine South block, unable to dig it out of the net there. Kill goes to Faley as she goes to the bench. In comes Ellie Kehoe to serve for the Dukes.
This game has almost been completely neck and neck, Griffin.
Kehoe flirts with the net there, just gets it over. Orusevic, big kill. Kehoe's there. Carroll keeps it alive. Lombardi with the free ball. Lesh. Rada. Big swing there from number 6. And Martina Goncars gets the kill from that outside spot. Maine South is loving it. Dukes not so much. In comes Audrey Faley for the Dukes. Out goes Ellie Kehoe. Middle switch brings in Reese Timmerwilk. She's in the front row as Faley and Kehoe are on the bench. Deep breath from Orusevic. Goes right at Brathen. She reserves it. Stepanek, big kill. Looking like her older brother, shoving that one right to the ground.
Absolutely. Maybe not as tall, but definitely you can see the Stepanek blood running through her veins.
Older brother and dad watching from behind the benches as their Mr. Stepanek is the head athletic trainer of York Duke Sports. Shout out to him. Rada. Big swing there from the right side. And Martina Goncars pushes this to a 3-point lead and maybe pushes this game just outside of the reach of the Dukes. We've seen crazier things happen here in the Dick Campbell Gym.
There's been a lot of crazy moments, especially for girls volleyball, so.
Lesh goes right at Brathen. Smith unable to get it out of the net there. Called for going underneath. Coach P decides to call a timeout here. And John, what do you think he's telling his girls and trying to get them to overcome this 3-point lead?
I really don't know what he's going to say. I don't know if there's any words that they can say to really help this. The one thing I do wonder is when is he going to bring back Toliopoulos? You can see her visibly like just emotionally drained, physically drained, emotionally drained, just from, and then those 2 back-to-back calls from the ref kind of picking on her has just not really set her back. It's unlocked her mind. So I'm really just waiting for her to come back, maybe put some more points on this board.
As you said, Toliopoulos was called on 2 out-of-rotation calls back-to-back. She is the starting setter, but has taken majority of the second set on the bench as she was visibly emotional after those 2 calls, and Coach P deciding to give her a rest. Lesh goes right at Brathen. Smith comes in and just barely goes under the net there as Smith is unable to keep that one from going just barely over the net. Maine South now up 4, 2 points away from closing this game in 2 sets. Lesh floats it over. Brathen, Smith, Carroll tips it out to that back corner. Orusevic's there. Rada, this time going to Andrews. Andrews fights through the York block. Smith going to Viator Navarez. Big kill there from Viatora Noveras, maybe spark plugging this Duke's comeback as Day comes in. Brathen goes to the bench. Carroll back to serve for the Dukes.
All we need to see is one UAV.
Rada going to Curry, and great hustle there by Carroll to get low, get dirty, get on the ground, but she's unable to keep that one up. 1 point separates Maine South from taking this game in 2 sets.
Yeah, Griffin, I mean, neck and neck all game. Once Maine South had a lead, they kept it. Not looking too good for York right now.
Tegan Hannigan back to serve. Bennis. Smith. Viatora Navarez comes up clutch with the kill there, extending this game at least 1 more point. It's only a 3-point lead. Dukes can definitely succumb this. We saw them come back from a larger deficit earlier in this game in this first set, pushing it into extra points, eventually losing 26-24, trying to rewrite history here. Lash gets on the ground, but Bennis places it perfectly. 2 points separate them from extras. Timeout here, Maine South. Both coaches using their timeouts, and with that, we will take a short step aside. You are watching girls varsity volleyball here on York Sports Network. Welcome back to the Dick Campbell Gym, where it's a 2-point set between the York Dukes and the Maine South Hawks. The Hawks lead 2 sets, 24-22, on the verge of winning this game in 2 sets. Lash digs it. Hannigan looking for Curry. Curry, big swing. York Dukes block says no. She goes right back again, this time at Bennis. Day. Big swing right at Curry, and it's a 1-point game for the Dukes to push this one to extras. 24-23. I'm getting deja vu to the first set, John.
Oh, I couldn't said it better myself. Absolute deja vu. Now it's just what next steps are they going to take this win?
Bennis going right back at Lesh. Hannigan. Back row attack from Oscuvera. Great dig there by Carroll. Viatoro Navarez free balls it over. Hannigan. This time going to Curry again, and it's out of the back line. Coach P hype. We're hype. The Dick Campbell Gym is rocking as we're guaranteed 2 more points in this second set.
If Coach P had enough room, he would have done a backflip.
Bennis floats it over right again, going at Lesh. This time, number 9 gets there. Bennis digs it out. Smith going to Day. Day roll shots it over right at Viator Navarez. Free balls it over. Smith going to Faley. Faley tips it over, and she gets the point! Maine South with a chance to take that point away, but they crumble in the face of pressure. No timeouts left for both coaches. Maine South took the first set. Duke's looking to extend this to a 3-set game. 25-24. 1 point separates them from a third set. Maine South uses their final timeout. John, what do you think Maine South's talking about?
I don't even care what they're talking about. All I got to say is the Dick Campbell Gym is rocking like Death Valley. It is absolutely electric.
It is middle school night here, so the crowd is rocking. And with that, we will take a short step aside. You are watching York Sports Network. Back here in the Dick Campbell Gym, Lila Bennis has been on a serving streak, looking for 1 more point. Big swing from Curry. It sails out of the back line. The Dukes take the second set, succumbing a 5-point deficit, up winning the second set 26-24. The exact opposite score of the first set, where Maine South took it 26-24. And now we are headed to a third set, John. We're getting extra volleyball here in homecoming week.
You know, an amazing homecoming week here. You know, Mr. P's he's gonna talk to his girls, figure out how to fix some of these problems that they've been having, the power, the net, and communication, and just some of the little or smaller things that have given Maine South more points. He's going to try to vocally talk about them and try to see what he can help his girls win. I will say this has been an absolutely electric game for both teams. Maine South coach is more talking about kind of keeping composure. Once you make a mistake, it's over. That's the point. You go back, other team gets a serve. That's just how this game is going to go. I think Maine South is going to try to implement that right into all of his girls' heads and just try to figure out, let's have the minds of a goldfish, you know, Dory.
As you said, John, Maine South much more of a composed timeout here as they are in a huddle. Coaches off to the side discussing game plan, but all the players together well. The York Dukes coaching staff is letting more of the girls ride this high of coming back in the second set, and they're not less uniform, but they're definitely not as neat as Coach P goes to the hull here and it starts to form. Girls still coming off that high. Bennis taking a well-deserved rest on the bench. All the players exhausted but full of adrenaline here, and we will take a short step aside. You are watching York Sports Network. Hello and welcome back to the Dick Campbell Gym, where it is third set action here between the York Dukes and the Maine South Hawks. Griffin. Maine South taking the first set, Dukes taking the second set, and John, we have an injury update.
Yeah, Toliopoulos was seen walking out, almost limping out. This is definitely going to be a big hurt for this York Dukes team. That is their rock. That is their Great Wall of China. That's their Zeus when they need her. So this is going to be just for her. If she's injured, it's going to hurt not just this game, but the next coming games. Keeping that ranked spot is very difficult.
Elise Smith held down the fort in the second set when she went to the bench and has to do so here in the third set. Back row attack here from Oruz Vera. Smith today, big swing right off the hands of the Maine South block, and it's the Dukes point there coming off the kill from Katie Day.
Yeah, this is going to be their first time leading an opening drive.
Eileen Carroll back to serve. Orusevic on the ground there. Hannigan just looking for Andrews. They free ball it over. Tips it over there by Katie Day. Andrews kind of slides there, and it catches Eileen Carroll off guard, going right in between Bennis and Carroll, resulting in Maine South point. It is tied up 1-1 here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe third set only goes to 15 in the high school varsity level.
You play volleyball, I play nothing. So.
Hannigan Goes right at Bennis. Day, big swing! Bigger kill.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like you're a broken record next to me. Katie Day, big swing. Just how powerful she's been for this York Dukes team, leading it like she has.
Each swing sounds like 4th of July with how that volleyball pops. Hannigan goes to Curry. Curry right at Bennis. Gets a hand on it, but unable to keep it in bounds. And it's once again tied up 2-2 here.
Yeah, nice attempt to save. I was going to say nice save, but it just was like fairly off her hand in a weird area where that one's just going to go forward instead of back.
Bennis hitting the floor there, but not much reward. Berta now serving for Maine South, and that one goes right into that 7th player, the net, with another kill.
Yeah, Griffin, I mean, wow. This has definitely been a change of pace. I don't know what Maine South talked about, but I don't think they talked about enough.
The net might be the only player on the court allowed to block a serve. Lombardi this time gets it over the net. And great job there attacking the weak serve, receive, and getting the ace there, extending this lead by 2 points. It's 4-2 in this 3rd set.
Yeah, 2 Maine South players almost just checked themselves in at the score table.
Lombardi goes right back at Berta. Lesh now has to get on the ground, and Orusevic free balls it over. Lombardi. Taylor Stepanek with the swing and with the kill. Stepanek keeping this York Dukes serving streak alive. They're up 3 points.
Griffin, this is very, very intense. I can feel York just absolutely owning this momentum, but there could be any chance where the tsunami comes from the other side. Maine South flips the script.
Lombardi right again, going at Berta. This time the receive is good. Orusevic! Almost blocked there from the Dukes, but just barely out of bounds. Maine South's point. Back to service number 8, Chloe Cooter. Cooter got her first action during the 2nd set. Back to serve again here in the 3rd. Flirts with the net there, but just gets it over. Katie Day from the right side spot! Just finds that back line.
Absolutely. I mean, if you want to talk about flirting with the net, she's been flirting with that back line all night long.
That had so much movement, looked like a nasty 12-6 curveball.
Oh, yeah.
Nice shot there from the athletic trainer of York. Passing that one from behind Maine South, his bench. Overserve there from Dukes. Get the point there. Don't really know the call.
Yeah, I mean, you sounded confused. I'm confused. So, with my limited volleyball knowledge I've accumulated over the past year, no clue what happened there.
Neither Maine South coach nor us know what the call was, but Duke's got the point, and we always love to see that here at York Sports Network. And with that timeout, we will take a short step aside. You are watching York Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Dick Campbell Gym. I'm John Finucane. Alongside me is Griffin. Hanna just came back from a whole lot of buffoonery.
Brathen serves it there, going right at Orusevic. And Taylor Stepanek almost gets the block there, unable to turn her hands inside at that right side position.
Looks like Toliopoulos is going to come back. Looks like a little bit more wrap is going to be on her right leg than before.
Unsure on what the injury was, but she has returned from the locker room. Overserve there by the Hawks. It's a 4-point lead for the Dukes. In comes Ellie Kehoe to serve. And in comes Reese Timmerwilk as Lila Bennis and Audrey Faley go to the bench. Ellie Kehoe getting her first moments of action in that second set, and she's back here for the third set. Coach P doing what worked, going back to her for the serving duties. Carol looking like a soccer star, sliding on her knees to keep that one alive, and gets it to Stepanek, who gets the kill, extending this lead to 9-4, closing in on this third set as we have a couple rambunctious fans getting in the view. Great job there by Kehoe to attack Sophie Berta and gets the ace there as Berta unable to get her platform ready and on that ball. Kehoe once again going with the quick serve, right back at Lesh. Rhoda takes it out, Kehoe. Lombardi to Carol. Carol, just too much there. Coaching staff looking for a tip call on the block, but refs think otherwise.
Kehoe has definitely been very, very controlling of her sets and of her serves. Came in here late second set and just absolutely dominated. Comes in here third set and also dominates.
Lila Bennis comes back in for the Dukes. Kehoe to the bench. So many Dukes players on the ground there to get that serve receive to go, and it works. Rada looking for the middle. She does get it. Number 16, Katie. Number 15, Katie Kruger. Big kill.
You know, thankfully we have a very great janitorial and custodian staff that clean these floors. So nothing weird is going to be down there.
Back to serve is Safia Orusevic. Lombardi gets it to Carol. Carol pushes it over. Orusevic gets her hands on that one. Rada going to number 6. Number 6, Martina Goncars, unable to keep that sharp cross in. Just barely out of side out there. In comes Elise Smith. Out goes Taylor Stepanek. In comes Ariella Villatoro Navarez. Out goes Maggie Lombardi. Smith back to serve and will be setting. Floats it over there. Goes right at Lars. Big swing from number 9. Unable to keep it in there. Kylie Andrews, just a little bit too much power in the Dukes. Now up 6, doubling what the Hawks have and closing in on this third set. Smith, right back at Lesh. Rada, this time looking. Oh my goodness! Reese Timmerwilk says no to the swing there from that right side, number 6, Martina Goncars.
Wow, Griffin, wow.
Elise Smith, just barely too much power there. Maybe feeling the juice from that block. Yeah. But ends up in Maine South Point. Emma Lesh back to serve. Smith, Viator Navarez from the outside, unable to push it through that block, and Vasara Rada's hype up.
Looking like a turntable situation here, Griffin. Maine South is starting to get some points racked up. Still a hefty lead for York, but definitely something that they're going to have to look out for.
Lesh serves it to Bennis. Viator Navarez again redeems herself there. Timmerwilk getting a little too excited there, going up with one hand. And if this was the boys program, Coach Dowdy would be saying, just go up with 2 on an overpass like that.
Yeah, I've never played volleyball, so I'm going to second you with that one.
Emma Lesh floats it over. Brathen, Smith, this time going to Carol. And once again, gets some crazy vertical movement there, making it look like a 12-6 curveball again. Starts like it's looking like it's just going to almost hit the back wall, sailing out of bounds. And it just loses all of its speed and drops down at that back line. Eileen Carroll back to serve. Goes right at Andrews. Rada back to Andrews. She tips it over. Smith is there. Bennis takes the out-of-system ball. Viator Navarez from the right side gets the kill, giving the Dukes a 15-9 lead.
Still a hefty lead that York has been able to control this third set. It feels like a different team on both sides. Maine South is starting to lose a little bit more composure, but York is becoming more controlled with a completely different starting sticks.
Big swing there from number 6 of Maine South. Martina Goncars fights through that York block. This final set will be going to 25 points. We apologize for the confusion there. Back to service, Tegan Hannigan. She is the team captain and the setter for Maine South. Day, big swing, fights through the block. Lesh gets it though. Hannigan, back row attack from Oruskeva. Smith, big swing there from Viator Navarez. And just the shadow there of the block, unable to get it out more over their head, and Maine South kind of mounting a comeback. Starting to seem like deja vu, but just flip between the teams as Dukes had a similar comeback in the second set. Maine South looking to do the same here in the third. Smith going back to Viator Navarez. Roll shots it right over the block. Hannigan goes to Curry. Viator Navarez gets a hand on it, but unable to get it up. And Maine South now shrinking this lead for the Dukes down to 3 points.
Almost unnecessary for her to get that hand in there. Having Carol coming behind her, I understand you don't got eyes in the back of your head, but just kind of wondering what's going on here. Another miscommunication.
Hannigan serves right at Bennett. She receives it once again. Timmerwilk just punches that one over the net. Curry! Big swing there from the right side and a bigger kill.
Maine South is starting to come back in this third set. York has been dominant a lot. Starting to lose a little bit of composure, but still having a lot of fun out there.
Hannigan back to serve. Bennis. Day. Viatoro just has to free ball it over. Hannigan. Back row attack there for number 9. Once again, Viator Navarez free balls it over. This time, Hannigan goes to back row attack for Orusevic. Timmerwilk just gets her hand there. And it's getting closer there. Coach P calls a timeout. Maine South getting loud. With that, we will take a short step aside. You are watching girls varsity volleyball here on York Sports Network. Hello and welcome back to the Dick Campbell Gym, where it is prime time here for some girls volleyball. Maine South trails 14-15 in this third set. Mounting a comeback here, though, as they've shrunk a 5-point lead down to a 1-point lead for the Dukes. Big swing there from Curry. And now this game is all tied up in this third set. 15-15, 1 set to 1 set. Two ranked teams showing their best and going at it here. Hannigan right at Carroll. Carroll receives the serve well. Overset there from Smith, and that one's just barely over the net. But Maine South was called in the net. Dukes not bailed out, but lucky there.
Yeah, P, I mean, he saw the faces of his girls and kind of gave him a little bit of a smile like, hey, you guys aren't at fault for that one. Maine South was in the net. I don't know if anybody else caught it, but it was kind of cute. It was like a, hey, man, I'm here for you kind of smile, you know?
Yeah.
You didn't do anything wrong. I'm not disappointed.
Not an overset. Just rattled by the Maine South player being over the net. Big swing there from Curry at the outside position. Now the lead's back up to a 2-point lead for the Dukes. 8 points separating them from victory.
Coach P getting a lot of movement in those skinny jeans, I will say.
Quick serve there from Laya Blenis. Hannigan, back row attack from Orusevic. Smith on the ground there. Faley dropping one knee but unable to keep him up. And as you said, Coach P, very agile in those skinny jeans, keeping the girls hype, and he's giving coaching from anywhere on the court. Number 9 now, float, serves it. Day gets her platform to it. Roll shot there from Day. Hannigan goes to Curry. Curry overshoots it again, right past that back line. Curry flexing her power too much there. Sophie Berta coming in. Out goes number 9. Kylie Andrews. Mag Lombardi back to serve. Taylor Stepanek is in as well for the Dukes. Viatora Navarez and Elise Smith go to the bench. Mag Lombardi floats it over. She's been great from the serving spot today. Elise Smith, Eileen Carroll, great court awareness there on that third touch, just punching it over. Bennis now on the ground, keeping it alive. Day, roll shot. Lesh. Hannigan. Rusevic pushes it there, but Eileen Carroll again, great hustle play. Taylor Stepanek just barely unable to punch that one over the net. 1-point game, 18-17.
Yeah, I mean, that hit was from Stepanek was kind of in between. I'm trying to control my power, but I want to give it just enough where it's in between the body of the net and the body of the blocker.
Back to serve is number 8, Cooter. Floats it over there. Actually not. The net once again gets another block. This net has been on fire tonight.
I don't know whose fantasy team the net is on, but whoever's got him tonight is making some points up.
Brathen serves it over. Hannigan. Best time denied at the rim. Stepanek digs that one out under the net. Carroll swings from the outside spot. It's still up. Berta there. Roll shot from Rusevic. Lombardi. Bennis. Eileen Carroll again. And the Maine South block says something else.
This game is coming down to the wire. Don't know what else to say other than that, Griffin. I mean, wow, it looks like two completely different teams out there. They're coming out, and they're switching again, and they're becoming the best teams that they can be.
Ruda serves it. Stepanek. And oh my goodness, this Maine South block coming alive. And with that second monster block in a row, you can just feel the air suck out of this gym. Dukes have to find a way to get this momentum back on their side.
I don't know what P's going to have to say to some of his girls, but there's going to have to be some kind of pep talk.
Brathen, great serve receive there. Faley, big swing, big kill. Came at the exact right moment. Stopping this momentum swing, giving it right back to the Dukes. In comes Ellie Kehoe. Out goes Audrey Faley and Lila Bennis. Reese Timmerwilk up in the front row. Kehoe, quick serve here. Goes right at Berta. Lesh takes the out-of-system ball. Looking for number 6. She tips it over. Lombardi out to Stepanek. Stepanek roll shot. Right to Ruda. Out-of-system ball goes to Lesh. Another swing from the outside. Kehoe's there. Lombardi out to Carroll now. Carroll tips it over. Has to fight to keep it back up. And we're tied at 20. Back in comes Lila Bennis. Middle switch. Takes out Ellie Kehoe. Safia Rusevic back to serve.
You can hear how quiet the Campbell gym is right now.
Brathen to Lombardi. Timmerwilk just into the net there. Timeout there from Coach P. And as you said, John, the gym is so quiet right now. Both fans just waiting for the next play to happen. You could hear a monocle drop. And with that, we will take a short step aside. You are watching York Sports Network. Welcome back to the Dick Cable Gym, where it is 21-20 in this final set. Maine South leads by 1. Lombardi setting up Stepanek. Roll shot there. Rada. Back row attack from Arusevic. And Timmerwilk just barely unable to get her fingertips to push that one back over the net. 2-point lead for the Hawks.
Timberwolf almost looked like she had no help anywhere on either her left or her right side. I mean, it was a very reachable ball, but just you want to have that help next to you.
Arusevic goes at Brathen again. Lombardi. Stepanek, big swing! But once again, 15-9. Katie Kruger and number 9, Kylie Andrews combine to stop this Duke's pin hitters. Arusevic. Back to serve. Coach P has used his one and only timeout this set, so not much he can do beyond encourage his girls. Arusevic going right back at Brathen. She's done a great job of serving her receive. Lesh takes the out-of-system ball. Kylie Andrews. Brathen barely gets a hand on it. Carroll tips it over. Rada goes back to Andrews. Andrews from the right side. Stepping and gets a hand on it. Lombardi out to Carroll. Carroll, big swing, fights through the Maine South block. Rada. Back row attack from Arusevic. This is dangerous! Just barely out! Wow! Wow!
I mean, now it's going to come down to a 2-point lead here, Griffin. And 25 is just getting scratched away at here.
Elise Smith right at Lesh. Rada goes to Andrews. Andrews! Called tipped at the net. Duke's block just a little bit too good, getting a fingertip there. And 1 point stops Maine South from taking this game in 3. Lesh back to serve, looking to close this one out. Sails out the back. No! Called that it hit paint. Duke's fans, players, coaches stunned by that call. Maine South gets the win here in 3 sets, winning 26-24. Dukes take the second set, 26-24. Maine South prevailing 25-21. For York Sports Network, I've been Griffin Hanna. Joined alongside me is John Finucane. Thank you to John Scalzitti, Peter Estefan, Mateo Riviera, Luca DeSanto, and Michael Elias. For YSN, I've been Griffin Hanna. Joined alongside me is John Finucane. And have a good night.
Good night, Duke.